Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University, this is a Channel 18 Rockbridge News Update.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report Live News Update. I'm Emery Cox. A commercial airliner crashed in the French Alps in the southeast region of France this morning. According to authorities, at least 150 people were on board, many of them Spanish and German citizens. There is no word yet on whether any American citizens were on board. CNN's Sullivan Sarfati has the latest from Washington.
The French president saying no survivors are expected. The Germanwings Airbus A320 plane was traveling from Barcelona, Spain to Dusseldorf, Germany this morning. Authorities say trouble started about halfway through its flight. That's when online flight trackers showed there was a point of rapid descent. The air carrier says the plane fell like a rocket, crashing down in the French Alps in the southeast region of France. It's not clear yet what caused the plane to crash.
With no distress call, of course, we don't know what the pilots knew what was going on. We don't know what the plane was doing, and we don't know the emergency.
This is the first look at the area over the crash site in the French Alps. Rough terrain that will be difficult for search and rescue teams. The French president says it may take some hours for emergency crews to reach the site. The French president this morning tweeting, quote, "I want to express my solidarity to the families of victims of the air crash. We are in mourning for this tragedy." A local college in the area has prepared their sports hall to take in potential bodies, and the Germanwings logo, normally red, now changed to black. In Washington, I'm Sullivan Sarfati.
On Monday, police in Charlottesville shared the results of their investigation into an alleged gang rape at a fraternity at the University of Virginia. The claims were outlined in a controversial Rolling Stone article last November. The magazine reported the story of a young woman they refer to as Jackie. Charlottesville police spent hundreds of hours investigating Jackie's story and talked to 70 witnesses. Police Chief Timothy Longo says there's just no evidence of a sexual assault, as it was reported in the Rolling Stones magazine.
I don't know that it's fair to say that it was intentionally made up as fiction. I don't want to try to get into the mind of someone who may well have been the subject of a traumatic event. All I know is what the facts tell us. And the facts tell us that there's no substance to believe that that version of the event occurred.
Editors of Rolling Stone magazine have commissioned an independent investigation. The results are expected to be published in early April. The race for the White House has officially started. On Monday, Republican Senator Ted Cruz was the first high-profile candidate to announce his presidential bid for 2016. There was no hometown rally for the freshman Texas senator. He selected the Virginia campus of Liberty University to make his announcement. Cruz made clear that liberty would be the soundtrack of his campaign, saying that word more than a dozen times in his speech. He won't have the spotlight to himself for long, with many candidates ready to jump in. President Obama welcomed Afghanistan's new president to the Oval Office today for their first White House meeting. How many troops the U.S. will leave behind and for how long was the focus of today's meeting. The White House said the U.S. will keep its current complement of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through the end of 2015. The original plan was to cut the 9,900 troops to 5,500 troops by the end of the year. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani asked Obama to slow the withdrawal of U.S. troops because Afghan security forces are bracing for a tough spring fighting season. In a joint statement, the President said the size of U.S. troops' presence in 2016 will be declared later this year. Budget session is coming to an end, and Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors denied the school's board's request for an additional $617,000 for fiscal year 2016. The school board hoped to increase employees' salaries, hire new teachers, and improve after-school programs, but the schools must now rely on federal and state funding to complete these projects or make additional cuts to other programs. The county budget also includes a plan to increase the disposal fee at the county landfill to over $50 per ton. Join us on Thursday at 4:30 for the full Rockbridge Report and more updates on local budget decisions. You can also get the latest Rockbridge County news on rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net.